Oh my God, it's working.
Fractions!
Okay, guys. Okay, guys.
What's going on with the lights?
I got it.
They're hashtag derping.
So we worked a little bit with inequalities. Yesterday I introduced them a little bit. Today we're going to look at more than one inequality at the same time. For example, let's see if I can think of an example. I want to look for all the mountains that are higher than 1,000 feet above sea level and lower than 10,000 feet. Does that make sense?
No. Yes.
I don't know why I'd want to do that, so I have no idea. But I'm just giving you an
Then it makes
example.
complete sense.
There's, yeah, right, it makes complete sense, since I don't know why I want to do that. Right, I agree. It makes complete sense, right? But there's always something, there's often things where there is a low limit, a lower limit, and a higher limit. Does that make sense? Right? You want to be, well, that's true. In speed limit, like if you're on the highway, I don't know what the rule is, to be honest with you, because typically, well, I think it's more than 5 miles under. I think you can go more than 5 miles under. But when you're on an actual highway where it's like I-25, I think there is a limit to how slow you can go. You can't just go 20 miles an hour. Do you know? Does anybody know?
It's under how slow you can go?
Yeah.
I think it's under 15 miles.
You can't go under 15 miles on a regular basis.
Under
Under what?
from the speed limit,
Yeah.
you can't go 15 miles under it.
You can't go 15 miles under it. Okay. So if the speed limit is 50, well, say 75, which is usually, then you can't go 65, 60. You can't go less than 60, right? Okay. And then you can't go more than 75. We'll just say that's the speed limit. So you're not supposed to go over 75. So that's a good example. So you're saying that if x is my speed of my vehicle, right? I'm making x is the speed. X is the speed of my vehicle. Speed of car.
Speed car.
Right? Speed of car. Then how would I write that? How would I write all those qualifications with inequalities? Skylar, listen, how would I write that?
Well, on the graph, I guess it would be like,
So you've got to be, okay, Manu, do you have an idea?
Would it be x equals, no, does not equal x minus 15?
X does not equal, what? Negative 15?
wait, what? What?
I know.
What? No.
You're saying my car can't go negative 15 miles per hour? You are right,
What?
buddy. That is true.
Actually, your car can go negative. No, it you're going backwards. No, you're
No, because now you're technically still going.
It's still going at a speed, right?
Yes, but now the dirt is stay in place, it might explode.
Just because I'm going backwards doesn't mean I'm not going, right? So I can't go, right, so that doesn't work. We know that it's got to be, okay, so another suggestion, Zane.
Yes, you have to use inequality.
2 inequalities. Wait, guys, there's too much talking. There's noise.
So let's say the speed
John.
limit is 50.
50. Okay, so speed limit is, we'll write this down. Speed limit equals 50. Okay.
X cannot be 5 greater than 50.
X can not what?
Which
X is
cannot be greater.
X.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to know what they cannot be. I want to know what it can be.
Okay,
What's
X.
using an inequality?
Okay, well, X is greater than plus 5.
Wait, Gary, couldn't you just
No,
do
x is less than
to
50.
graph it if it can't be less
Or
than
equal to,
50?
or equal to.
If it can't be less than 50 and it can't be more than, or sorry, if it can't be more than 50 and less than 30, 40,
35,
Um,
right?
Then wouldn't you just do 50 and 35 and then put the middle number and do an arrow going?
Well, that's interesting. Let's just draw a graph first for a second. We've got a graph, right? And here's 0, here is 35, and here is 50. You guys with me?
Yeah.
All right. And I know the speed of my car can be anything. Would you guys agree with me? It's got to be above 35 and less than 50. Do you guys agree with me? Right? I mean, it could be equal. Could it be equal to 50?
Yeah.
Could I be going 50? That's okay. So I can do a solid dot there. Do you guys agree with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
what about 35? I don't know the rule, but I would say let's just assume it's a solid dot again, right? I could go 35.
Yeah.
But 34, absolutely no way.
Yeah.
Prison for life, right?
You could.
34. Right.
You probably just have to pay a fine.
So, you guys agree with me? Those are my two outer edges. Do you guys agree with that? And would you agree with me that the speed of my car could be any of this stuff in between?
Yeah. So wouldn't you just put
Right?
a line?
So I could put a solid line here.
I don't agree with you for something.
What do you? What don't you agree?
You can go over 50.
That's true. You can go up to like.
I'm on video
Usually
here.
it's
I
like
can't
5.
say that on video.
You can't?
Well, you can go like
The
5 miles.
speed limit
Cut.
is 50.
But you can go
Alright.
like more than a
Your
little
parents
more
Yeah,
than 5
many
miles.
many people do go a little bit more, like 51, 52, right?
75.
You know, not-
90.
not everybody- But those rules are there, guys, come back. Those rules are there for a reason. Those rules are there for a reason. Aiden, those rules are there for a reason. We're trying to save lives, keep it safer for people. They have a speed limit on purpose for something, right, John? So we're gonna honor the speed limit at this point. So we've got 35 and 50, and you were saying that X could be all of the stuff in between. You guys agree with me? So there are two ways you could say this. You could say that X is greater than or equal to 35. You guys agree with me? X is greater than or equal to 35. Does everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like motion.
Okay, and then you've got to put this big huge word called and. And is really important. And
Oh my gosh.
how do I say the next one? X is less than or equal to 50.
Oh,
That, my friend,
that's
is a
smart little man.
this is a compound inequality. Compound, if you are in chemistry or if you're taking science and you are mixing up a compound, what is a compound?
Different chemicals are getting exploded.
It's
Different
something that
chemicals
explodes.
that add together, right, to make a lovely explosion, right? Yes, it's different things. Compounds. It's more than one thing. A compound is more than one thing.
I would explode.
So you can have compound inequalities, more than one inequality for the same issue, right? There is a lower limit to the speed limit and a higher limit for the speed limit, right? And we have to be sure that we're somewhere in the middle of that, right? Now, there is another way this could be written, and that's what I'm going to focus on today, the other way. The other way is this. You can, I'm going to do it up here. I could put my lower limit on the left, just like this graph. Right, are you with me? So I'm going to write my 35. I'm going to write my 50. And I'm going to write my X in the middle.
Oh my
Okay.
God, Garrett.
Now, what's
I think you found it.
what's important, guys? What's important is that you have the lower number on the left. If you're starting with a number line, it's always going to work that way. You're going to have the lower number on the left and the higher number on the right. So you're going to go like this and like this. If you always have them, they're going to both always be facing to the left if you always have them in the right order, right? It's going to be like that. Now, the way I suggest you read this is you start with the middle X and you read backwards. That is a less than sign right there.
Less than or equals to.
Less than or equal to, excuse me. But I'm going to read it backwards because I'm starting with the X and I'm reading this
So
way,
is it
from
right?
right to left. Does that make sense? So really, the bigger mouth is facing the x. So x is greater than, bigger than 35. You see what I'm doing? You see how I'm reading it backwards? It says really 35 is less than or equal to x. But I'm reading it backwards. X is greater than or equal to 35. And x is less than or equal to 50. Basically, x is everything between those 2 points and including those 2 points.
Gary, you're a genius.
Fist of 5. You guys get this? Do you understand it?
Gary, you're a genius.
Okay. Do you see how?
Gary.
Do you see how this and this are the same thing?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I know I have to be both above 35 and less than 50. I can't be going 32 because even though that's less than 50, it's not greater than 35. 32 doesn't work, right? It's got to be both. When I say and, it means both. Both are true always for the solution. Stand up if you are wearing pink and black. Who's wearing pink? Where, Jackson? Where are you? You turkeys. Okay. Pink and black. Pink and black. Pink and black. Okay. Stand up if you're. Okay. Sit down. Stand up if you're wearing black.
Only black?
And yellow.
Only black. Okay. Sit down if you're not also wearing pink. Right?
Wait, everybody who was standing up before should be standing up.
So, how do I say
I
this?
have white socks.
Puzzled very much, please.
I have pink and black.
If you are wearing just the black, right? And I said, stand up if you're wearing black and pink. You've got to have both of them have to be true, right? You've got to have both of them true. So if you're pink and black, then you can stand up. Whereas if you're just black, you've got to sit down. If you're just pink, you've got to sit down. Does that make sense? Right? If you have a pink eraser, that doesn't count because you're not wearing it. Okay, so have a seat. Now,
Wow.
Gary?
now when you have this, let's look at this for a second. When you have something like this, it's learning how to graph this. If I gave you another one, if I said 15 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 22, I could graph that as, I just draw my line underneath this. Here's my 15, here's my 22. I know x is everything in between. Is it going to be an open circle or a solid circle here?
Open.
Open
Wait,
circle. Is it going to be
Oh,
closed circle here?
whoa.
And it's going to be everything in between.
Oh my god.
Pretty easy to graph, right?
That's right.
Make sense?
Gary,
Okay,
you're a
question,
genius.
comment, question.
Have you ever tried to write a mathematical theorem?
I don't know, to be honest with you. It's a good question. I don't know. I may have. I don't know. Right now, I'm drawing a blank. I don't remember.
Use a camera thing.
But using, you guys, using this method that I just taught you, you probably didn't even notice, but you actually have more than two sides to your inequalities, right? In equations, what do you have, right? You know that rule, whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Well, in an equation, you only have two sides. You got the left side of the equal sign, and you got the right side of the equal sign. With inequalities, you can have three sides, right?
Wait, Gary.
You saw it right there. You had x in the middle, and you had a left side, a middle, and a right side.
Wait, Gary. But
Does it make sense?
yeah, but with number 2, the answer was literally what you said, the problem thing.
Well, I'm just graphing. What?
Never mind.
Okay, well, let's go. I don't know where I was
Are
at.
we just gonna be graphing sometimes?
No. So now watch. Watch this. I'm going to give you a problem that you have to solve, but you have to remember you have three sides. So guys, some people are talking still. I don't appreciate it. Did you not hear what I said, Jackson? Okay, here we go. What if I gave you this? 4 is less than 2x plus 6, which is less than or equal to 20.
That's not that hard. You just do it one side at a time. Can't you do that? No.
Okay, so now notice this is called a
Oh
compound
wait, it's E. There's
inequality. It's a compound inequality. It means that this is greater than this, or this is less than or equal to this. I have two separate inequalities. I could write them as two separate inequalities and solve them. Or the cool part is I could do it right now, right? I could do it right now the way it's written. Only I have three sides. So instead of the golden rule of algebra saying whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. Whatever you do to one, whatever you do to the middle, you have to do to both other sides.
Oh, Gary, it's like math.
Now, what do I want in my middle? What do I want in my middle?
X plus 3.
I don't want an x plus 3.
You want an X?
I want an x,
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
right? I want x. All,
But you
what?
have to do.
I want X too, Gary.
Oh, you're sweet. Okay. So all I want is an x in the middle. Because otherwise I can't interpret this. I don't know I don't know where it is, right? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know what that is. But if I knew that it said x here and it said 2 here and it said 10 here, I know how to deal with it, right? I understand what it is. So we're going to simplify. Can you just wait just a second? So what's in the way of this becoming an x?
The 2. The 2 and the plus 6.
Right. Now the 2 is kind of being multiplied times x. I'm not going to deal with that first. As when you're solving an inequality or an equation, you deal with the other thing first. So I'm going to subtract 6 from this, subtract 6 from this, and subtract 6 from this.
That's gonna be.
Isn't that cool? So now suddenly I have negative 2 is less than 2x, which is less than or equal to 14, right?
Oh my God, Gary.
We're getting closer.
And you
We're
divide
getting
every
closer.
single side by 2.
Divide everything by 2. Divide this by 2. Divide this by 2. Divide this by 2. And suddenly I have negative 1 is less than x, which is less than or equal to 7. Very interesting. So now I know. Now, yes, question. Wait a minute. Guys. What? Say it again.
Well, no, you don't divide by a
I
negative.
did not divide by a negative because I'm dividing by this 2, which is a positive, right? That's a good point. Good question, Indira. But I didn't divide by a negative, I divided by positive, so these stayed the same for now. Now, I want to know what that looks like. Aiden, I need you to pay attention, buddy. Are you writing this stuff down in your notes? Okay. I want to see what this looks like. So I'm going to put my negative 1 here, right underneath my negative 1. I'm going to put my 7 here, right under my 7. I'm just going to just double check. Is that the smaller number? That's the bigger number? Yes. So we're okay.
Sure, Gary.
And I know my x is going to be everything in between. And is this going to be an open circle or a solid circle?
Open.
Open circle.
Open circle. And is this going to be an open or solid?
Solid.
It's solid because it's also equal. It's also equal to 7. And now what do? I now just do a heavy line between those 2 points. And I have just graphed that. So that tells me real quickly, oh yeah, I've got to be greater than negative 1 and less than or
Oh
equal
my
to 7.
God, Gary, I think
Oh my
you
gosh.
figured it out.
Okay?
Gary,
My God.
Fist of 5. Do you understand this?
you're a cowboy, Gary.
Does it make sense? All right, so on the homework, there are going to be several like this where you have to solve. So Skylar and Bella, can you put your feet down right now? I just want you guys to focus for a second. Homework is there's going to be several problems like this where you have to solve by adding or subtracting things from all 3 sides to get it to an x. And then I want you to graph it. Okay, so it's going to be just so there's the first 6 problems are going to be like that. Then I gave you a word problem that asks you to kind of gives you a scenario, and I'm asking you to write a compound inequality. You can write it as two separate inequalities with the word "and" in between, or you can write it like these, like this, right? Either way. Yes, Manu?
Does this mean we have homework?
Yes, you have homework. And then on the back, I actually drew some out, and you have to tell me, you have to write down the compound inequality. Does that make sense? Right? Like I would do something like this, where I have a line, and I put this as -4, and this is 2, and I add this is open, and this is solid. And I had a line, I'd say, write a compound inequality.
I don't know.
Right? So Bella, help me. What would I do?
Draw an X.
-4.
So -4, and I know this is going to be 2, and I know my x is there. What am I going to put in here?
Less than.
Arrow.
Less than. Less than or equal to. There we go. Good. Excellent. So you do those. Okay, where am I? Okay. And then there's a few review things to practice with your age, word problems, and other fun things, right? So, all right, that's it for the lecture.